The update actually was created towards the beginning of this year, late last year, where we've really seen those price hikes start to develop from November 2020 through till, I'd say, February, March of this year, where in some cases, yes, we had seen some properties rise up to around 35% from the original values that we've seen in November 2020. But on average, I think we've seen over that period of 18 months, I'd say an average increase of around 20%, maybe 18%, yeah.
What does this tell us about the demand in the market and in particular in relation to the supply?
Yeah, there's various markets in Gib, and I think that's one thing that we've got to be pleased about. Gibraltar fortunately has in general a 4-tier market: low, middle, high and upper high, and within those tiers you've got different segments and different types of properties: studios, 1 bedrooms, 2 and 3, 4 bedrooms. I think what we've seen and what we've learned is that the owner-occupier driven markets, i.e. large 1 beds, but particularly 2, 3 and 4 beds, are the ones where we've seen a lack of supply and a big demand in them. So we've seen big demand in people wanting larger properties. That could well be to do with related to COVID. It could well be to do related to the tax agreement with Spain, more people wanting to be here. It's also to do with the fact Gibraltar is a nice place to be in, obviously has good criteria insofar as the financial services the jurisdiction as such. So we've seen a big influx of externals and international clientele coming into Gib, and that's had an impact on the high value market particularly, which is really where we've seen that big hike over that period. It's not to say that it's just international clients, but also local clients. I think there are many local clients who are purchasing and occupying some luxury properties in Gibraltar across the board.
Earlier in the week we saw the comments from the Heritage Trust about, in particular, the north face of the Rock and Devil's Tower Road and the general massification of high-rise developments being built there. What are your particular views on that and the concept that the Heritage Trust brought forward about a holistic plan for the area?
Yeah, I've got to agree with them. I think, it's important to see when you've seen the pace of the growth of the economy, and with that the pace of the growth of construction over the past 20-25 years, it's phenomenal. So there's no question that a plan is needed. I think we've been expecting a development plan generally for Gibraltar now probably a year or two late, if I'm not mistaken. So hopefully it will come through. And I think Devil's Tower Road is one of those areas that needs to be looked at, because it's by default become an area where we've had to look at in order to continue to see Gibraltar grow. Clearly the economy has grown, and with that we need more places. I think also I'd like to add that there is demand, and I think that demand is proven by the increase of prices, and particularly in owner-occupier driven properties and the larger 2, 3, 4 bedrooms. Studios may be a different matter, and yes, I think the president of the Heritage Society mentioned that there was a block of just studios. He's absolutely right, and I think there potentially we may not see as much demand, and therefore there's the supply there. Anywhere in the world, if you go to places around the world and there is construction, etc., it's seen as a sign of a good economy, which we've got. But that doesn't mean that we shouldn't be responsible insofar as how we build these things and how they look and how they represent us as a people.